Buckeye Talk from the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Jack is a jack, as we sort of suspected all along. I'm Nathan Baird from cleveland.com, along with Doug Lesmerises and Stephen Means. We got a ton of football conversation today with Ryan Day, defensive coordinator Jim Knowles, offensive coordinator Kevin Wilson. When we're talking to Jim Knowles today, he revealed that today was really the first practice where they installed a bunch of this hybrid defensive end linebacker position that they've been sort of holding back on. They've been going with sort of the four-man base front for a long time, and now they're mixing that in. Jack Sawyer is one of the guys that they used at that position. Caden Curry is a guy that they used at that position. Javonte Jean-Baptiste is a guy that they used at that position. Mitchell Melton, the guy that moved from linebacker, is a guy they used at that position. Just Doug, when he finally gave us some insight into who they're using there, what he wants from that position, how do you understand that better as they're getting into it more this spring?
So the who really matters, right? We love names. So to have that list of names, and that Jack Sawyer was the first listed of them, is really interesting. He did, was sort of asked, could JT Tuimoloau fit in there? He said, maybe, maybe eventually. The thing that really helped me is I asked the Bosa brothers and Chase Young, who are great defensive ends here, if you had them right now, would they be the perfect Jacks? Or would you not want to have them as a stand-up guy because you just want to leave them at the other defensive end spot and just let them go? And he said, probably not be a jack, which helped me a little bit because I think you could go either way with that. This is this position that he said that requires a lot of football smarts, although it's almost like you're going to be the little robot that Jim Knowles deploys. You don't necessarily have freedom each play, which helped me. I didn't exactly know how that worked, that Jim Knowles is going to tell you where to go. But if you have Chase Young, maybe you don't want to muck with him by having him be this. This is a way to take an athletic guy and free him up and disrupt the defense with the scheme, as opposed to a guy like Chase Young disrupts the defense just by existing. So it doesn't mean that they're not going to put talented players there, but I think it's a way to like lift the level of a versatile player. But it might not be the thing you do with the five-star guy who's just going to destroy tackles on his own. That helped me try to understand it.
Stephen, one of the other things, in addition to the guys that he said are playing it right now, he said, I think this can be a great recruiting tool because it is a playmaker position on defense. Your job is to go out and make impact plays at all times. And I guess simplifying it, that's what every defensive player tries to do, but I think we know what he's trying to say there. It's a play where you go do disruptive things in a big way. And what ways do you feel like this could be a weapon for them in recruiting?
Yeah, because I followed up with that, but like, what are the traits you're looking for? And like, are they similar? No matter if you're looking at linebackers trying to do it or defensive ends who are trying to do it as well. And he kept bringing up quick feet. He said quick feet a lot today, and like quick feet in short areas. That's what he's more looking for more than anything else. And then obviously, you got to have that football acumen to be able to do it because, as Doug just pointed out, he's pulling you in all these different directions depending on what the snap is. It's intriguing to the right type of prospect. And I'm going to throw one name out there. I don't usually throw out the recruiting names out here on these videos, but I will. AJ Hoffler, they've had this conversation with him about playing that role. He's been to Ohio State a couple of times, and he's pretty much an Ohio State lean at this point, even if he's holding off on his decision. But that's a guy who has the pass rushing skills, but can also drop back in coverage, but can also get pulled in all these different directions. And so Jim Knowles isn't the greatest recruiter in the world, but I do feel like when he's recruiting that position, he wants to see those physical traits, but then also it might just be a situation where he sits down in the office with the guy and has a football conversation and sees if he's actually smart enough to be able to do this, where you basically got a defensive coordinator in your ear every other snap telling you where to go.
So he's calling it the Jack today. He made a point today that it's called the Jack and that it will be called the Leo down the line. Like, the Jack becomes the Leo because the Leo is the king of the jungle. So we'll see how it progresses over the rest of the spring into the fall. And if they're still calling it, if they feel like they've got the guy to call it the Leo by the start of the season. Much more talk about this on Buckeye Talk, hopefully less singing. And get the text, 614-350-3315.
Oh, wee!